So we get students and help them with their internship every single year. So some of them are done, and some of them are continuing. Stefanella's still here. Who else is still here? Stefanella's here. Taryn is she's a licensed mental health counselor. And she runs out children's programs.
Right, I know that. I didn't know she already got that. She's studying to be. Well, that's wonderful, yeah.
She the counseling working around in school.
She goes around, she goes to school, she works around.
She works around particular school. I don't know. Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm definitely
Stay away from it. No. I go to bread, sugar.
Yeah, no, you know what? You got a lot of questions. Is it on? Yes. Oh, sorry. I didn't have to stand in front of it. No. No, you were good. I was letting her know we were good. Oh, good. I know.
I was in the support group.
What's up, Mo?
2008.
Oh, I listen, man.
And I still talk to her.
Here for several hours.
Electric?
So we'll answer questions while they answer. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. I know there might be some more people that'll trickle in, which is perfectly fine. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Nancy. I'm one of the dietitians from Westside Hospital with HCA Hospital, which is right here up in Plantation. Here's my colleague Elvira, who's also a dietitian there. We wanted to spend, an hour with you all, answer any questions that you may have. We have prepared a few appetizers with some good nutrients that we want to talk to you a little bit about, how it can help, your overall health. But most importantly, we're here to answer any questions that you may have. I also used to work with Mia, which I understand Mia comes here, once in a while and does some nice demonstrations for you as well. So the first dish that we're preparing is bruschetta, which is made, we have all the recipes here, okay? So if you're encouraged and would like to try this on your own at home or share it with family, that's perfectly fine. So we have the bruschetta. We used a French baguette. Usually we recommend using Roma tomatoes. They're a little bit more firm. Basil, which is a fantastic ingredient to give it some nice, some nice flavor. And then Chef brought a very nice balsamic vinegar that we mixed with that with a little bit of salt and pepper and some fresh garlic. So it is important to toast the bread a little bit because of all the juices and all that. Once it, you put it on the bread, it can kind of, soak everything up. Our star today here also is Chef Rudy. So Chef has been with HCA for 27 years. Has worked at many different hospitals, up and down the southeast coast of Florida. And we're very happy to have him. We've had him for almost a year at the hospital. So the bruschetta. Talking a little bit about, anybody a fan of garlic? Fan of garlic? Absolutely. So garlic has a lot of health benefits. It's great for your immune system. It's also antimicrobial. And it's one of the richest ways to enhance flavor in food. It also doesn't contribute to sodium or anything like that, so it's a very nice ingredient to use. Also good if you're starting to have a cold or feeling a little bit under the weather. Garlic can definitely be helpful for that as well. In terms of tomatoes we know mostly for the lycopene, right, which helps as an antioxidant. Now, how many of you know when we talk about antioxidants, what are we talking about?
Free radicals.
Okay. Free radicals, okay. Yeah, because a lot of people use that word, antioxidants are good for you, they're good for you, why are they so good for you? Well, a lot of the functions inside of our body to do its job produces what she just said, free radicals. And that, if left unchecked throughout the body, can cause damage to your cells, your blood vessels, so on and so forth. So by consuming a diet that's very high in antioxidants, those go and neutralize the radicals so we can get rid of them and it doesn't cause harm to our body. Okay? So it's really to protect your cells, to protect your veins and all of that. That's why we need all these antioxidants. And everything that we're cooking with today, very high in antioxidants. Any questions so far? Yes.
Is this similar to the other class that we're gonna have, the holiday nutrition class?
I think Mia was gonna do something with cookies or desserts for the holiday class.
Is it different than this
We
one?
have one this week, we have next Wednesday at 4 also, with another hospital, and then Mia's gonna be here on the 19th.
Okay.
The other question I had,
Yeah.
there are certain things like I can eat all the delicious stuff. I have my gallbladder, and like a lot of stuff that's kind of a little bit greasy or even a touch of grease is not good for me. So if that can, I can't have most of this.
Absolutely not. The gallbladder is just what holds the bile. So even when we get rid of it, your body adapts over time. And it usually doesn't take that long. It takes a month or two for your body to adapt. And then,
It still walks.
okay. So again, then in that case, because the bile is what helps you break down fat.
Right.
So what we would recommend is not to have meals that are too high in fat in one sitting. We're just using a little bit of olive oil in what we prepared. So there's nothing here that you wouldn't be able to have because it's very, very small amounts of olive oil.
Just adding the benefits of using onions, eggplant, tomatoes, you will add like the greasy, not fat, not high in fat consistency to your meals without bothering your blood, blood. You know, it's a very nice way to, it looks like grease, but it's just a veggie with the sugars it has to give you that consistency. So all that we're eating today is kind of healthy. It's a good way to incorporate other elements without using fatty meals with a lot of flavor. Because fat is flavor. We're adding butter or we're adding olive oil just because of the flavor of it. Adding these veggies, that's all.
Yeah, and a good rule of thumb when it comes to fat is if it's liquid at room temperature, probably good for you. Those are the monounsaturated and all that. If it's solid at room temperature, not so good for you. That's the butter, the hard margarines, and all of that, the shortening, that's the ones that we want to stay away from. And the liquid ones, definitely the olive oil, avocado oil, those are all excellent to be able to use. Again, in moderation. You don't want to overdo it. We used 1 tablespoon for that whole thing of olive oil. So very, very small amount just to kind of coat it. And the vinegar, adding vinegar to your food, also just a touch of it, really helps open up the flavor. You don't need much, that also helps enhance flavor versus using things like salt and other ingredients that are not so good for you. So.
I never thought about the fact that the hard oils is what stops you, is that what it is? The other one kind of runs?
Well, that's definitely a good way of looking at it, absolutely. But the olive oils and all that have the monounsaturated fatty acids, and that helps increase your good cholesterol and decrease the bad cholesterol. So the good cholesterol goes around your blood, picks up, what's kind of hanging out there, the cholesterol brings it back to the liver so that we can use it. The bad cholesterol kind of deposits into your veins and then can cause clogging, which we don't want. Exactly. Any other questions?
I never thought of it that, like, that's a good way to, like, remember it, like, about the distinction between the liquid and the solid.
Yeah.
Like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes sense. It's just a visual, but it definitely makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Yes? No.
You said you have 3 types of breakfasts that you will want to
No, like we usually consume at the most 3 different types of breakfast. Like if you think usually you have either toast and coffee with milk and a cup of fruits, or some other one will like eggs with toast and coffee. Some other ones may like
So should
oatmeal
I
with that.
replace the potatoes with something that you recommend? Like
You
tomato
can
or?
understand.
Absolutely. Instead of the potatoes, maybe have a cup of fresh fruit or some sliced tomatoes. So the other part of always kind of eating the same thing over and over and over again, you're not getting the variety of all the vitamins and the minerals and the nutrients that your body needs. Our bodies are very smart machines. If you don't get it through your food, it'll figure out a way to modify things to get it and to your detriment. So one good example always is calcium, right? You're not getting enough calcium, your body will get it from your bones, and then over time, now we've got osteoporosis and we've got all kinds of issues. So it's not just about calories and protein to make sure that you feel healthy and you have the energy to do what you want to do. It's also about all the right combinations, vitamins and minerals. Yeah. And by having a variety, you make sure you get all of that. Most people think vitamin C, I need an orange. Actually, 3 strawberries has the same amount of vitamin C as orange. So a lot of the different fruits and vegetables have the same kind of elements. It's just, adding that variety is very, very important.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much calcium, the bell pepper, how much vitamin C is in bell pepper.
Absolutely, especially the orange and the red ones, a lot of vitamin C. Yeah,
and I actually eat it like a fruit, and I didn't realize it that way, but it's actually really good too.
Yeah, it's got fiber, it's got vitamin A, it's got so many different great benefits too. Absolutely. And I know it can be hard, especially, whether you are going through treatment, you have gone through treatment, there's days where you're just tired, you're not in the mood. Cooking for yourself can be definitely a chore. We definitely understand that. But the best way to make sure you know what's going into your food is to make it yourself. And there's different things that you can do if you're with a group of friends or family, maybe cooking a little bit larger amount and then you share, because nobody wants to eat the same thing 5 days in a row, right? That's the other thing too. If I'm cooking, I'm gonna make a recipe and I'm gonna eat the same thing, I'm gonna get bored, I don't wanna do that. But also preparing recipes and freezing them in smaller amounts, so that way it's easy to be able to use when it's time. So, Liz and Nicole will be giving out the first dish, which is the bruschetta. For those of you who want to try it. So we use a little bit of shaved Parmesan and some micro basil, which is what the fancy chefs like our chef here use. Yeah.
This is a lot like the Mediterranean diet.
It is. You're absolutely right. Yes.
The other thing is, I also have these ones.
Okay.
So what would you want with that?
Well,
Too much fruit, what would you want?
Well, it's the right combination of food and then the portion control. We have something here that we can help you with in terms of that. But a lot of people, what they don't do correctly with those kind of diets is they don't make sure they have protein and carbohydrate at every meal. They either overdo it with the carbohydrate or, skip the protein. We have even like pictures here that show you exactly what your plate should look like with numbers. So with chef's help, it took it took us 2 minutes to put this together. So again, And, you know, a lot of people love like chips and salsa with the cilantro and all that, which is absolutely fantastic and delicious. This is just another variation to try. And you can try the different breads. This is a French baguette. You can do sourdough baguette. You can do focaccia, just different styles of bread that is really can make things, you know, a little bit more enjoyable. So we like this one? Yeah? Good job, ladies. Good job. So the next dish is an Italian caponata. So the main star of that dish is eggplant. So I think I have a few people that like eggplant, or do you eat the eggplant? Yeah. And usually when you have eggplant, how do you have it? Is it just sliced? Is it, you slice it and bake it?
Yes.
So there's many different ways that you can enjoy it. The eggplant, again, very rich in antioxidants, especially the skin. So you have to keep the skin, that's the important part. Very high in fiber, it's just lower calorie, but also just very, very nutritious food. You can have it sliced. I've seen people even make like lasagna with it. So you just stack it with all the different vegetables and you bake it with a little bit of tomato sauce and maybe some cheese on top. Exactly. And then there's other, Mediterranean dishes, whether it's moussaka, that, is more the, Greek style, but there's so many different variations to be able to use the eggplant. I think it's definitely something that's underutilized and it's so good for you. And so Chef chopped it all up in pieces, and I just gotta make sure I have all the ingredients here that I'm gonna use.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing it with bread too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So we have,
Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, no, the eggplant.
yeah, so it's eggplant, a combination of different vegetables. So there's celery, there's tomato, and also just to give a little bit more flavor, there's a little bit of capers in it. Some people use capers, some people put a little bit of olive. You can use a green olive or a black olive. Those are also very good for you. So he used some capers. And also garlic. We have a little bit of red wine vinegar in there, again, to help the flavor come out. And that can be eaten on bread. It can be eaten by itself. It can be eaten with pasta.
Is this all of the same kind of bread?
Yes, we just use the same kind of bread. Yes. But you can use different kinds of bread, or you don't have to eat it with the bread at all. You can just eat it by itself.
That's an idea.
Yeah. It's very filling.
Yeah.
How familiar are we with probiotics and prebiotics? Is that something that's been discussed in the past?
Oh, yes, not great. Sorry, not too bad.
So those two terms get used a lot interchangeably. Our bodies, our digestive system, it's what 80% of your immune system is driven by your gut. And we have so many different strands of bacteria in the gut. When we do things like antibiotics, chemo, a whole bunch of different things that we do to our body, it changes the bacteria in your gut. So it's a very good idea on a daily basis to try to consume something that has probiotics in it, okay? Garlic is one of those ingredients. Vinegar is actually one of those ingredients also that contain probiotics. One I'm sure all you know, yogurt, right? There's yogurt, there's also a liquid yogurt called kefir. I don't know if you all have ever seen it at the store. It's liquid. It's also lactose free. That one has the most amount of bacteria and the most variety. So a lot of people ask me, Nancy, how do I pick which yogurt? Because there's about 25 different kinds, right, when you go to the grocery store. Looking to see, make sure there's at least five strands of bacteria, 5 different kinds of bacteria in there. And also chooses the ones that don't have as much of the added sugar and all that, and the ones that are higher in protein.
What about the milk?
What about the what?
Probiotic milk.
That's excellent also. Yeah. The thing is, with the pill though, you want to consume a prebiotic. So you need something to feed the
I
bacteria.
didn't know that. What would be a prebiotic?
Honey. Honey is one of the prebiotics. That's typically one of the main ones. Maple syrup, but those typically I would say honey is probably the best prebiotic. That's why if you mix Greek yogurt with a little bit of honey and nuts, that's like the perfect snack.
I never thought of it that way.
But they have it figured out. The Mediterranean diet is so good for you for many different reasons. Hello, how are you? We can do that, yeah, in here. Roll call. We have these little treats for you. Yes,
So you said the prebiotic
it's to help feed the good bacteria. Yes.
and they have pills for that too, I assume?
Well,
I never seen one, that's why.
Yeah, they
A
have
lot of
times. I think with a pre and post.
with the pre and pro, sometimes they'll have it mixed together. Yes. Absolutely. And doing that once a day is a great idea. Just to maintain. Absolutely. And again, for people that might be a little bit more sensitive to lactose, there's so many, again, different variations now. There's almond milk yogurt, there's coconut milk yogurt, all the different variations. So that you can still get the benefits of the probiotics, but not, affect your belly. So. Any other questions? Anybody?
That's still like a good suggestion to go to.
Absolutely. The difference with the Greek yogurt not only is the consistency, it's thicker, right? It has usually a lot less added sugar to it, and it's very high in protein because of the way that it's prepared. So in terms of being a good breakfast or a good snack, versus the other yogurts are usually about 4 or 5 grams of protein. The Greek yogurts are in the 20s.
Yeah.
So it'll help keep you full longer, and it's more nutritious.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I did the Greek yogurt, but I didn't realize the honey was worked on as bad as it happened. I didn't realize it was people out. So that
Yeah.
sounds really good.
And if you want to add an even more of a boost, you can add bee pollen to your yogurt. So the bee pollen, and using bee pollen that is from this area, helps also boost your immune system. So just like a tablespoon on top of that. So again, it doesn't have to get complicated, just a little bit here and there, and you can really make something like a super powerful.
Yeah, I have 20, mine's like 20 grams of protein.
Yeah.
In my yogurt that I use. It's no fat, no sugar, so you can add the.
Add some fruit, you can add some nuts, you can add, really make it a good consistent meal.
I add what's it, preservatives? I add the raspberry preservative.
Preserves, sure, give it a little sweetness to it,
Raspberry,
absolutely,
it's really good.
absolutely. Yes.
I have one already.
So here in front too, just wanted to mention, we do have some handouts in terms of the right kind of nutrition. If you're undergoing treatment, also while you're in remission, that's just as important. The nutrition during is important, the nutrition after is also very important, because once you're in remission, you want to put all the chances on your side to try to, you got it, remain in remission. And again, there's certain things that are completely out of our control. Like the food is under our control, at least those are the things that we can do to help ourselves. Yeah, that's usually more genetic, unfortunately, than anything else. Yeah, and that we don't control our genes, but we can at least try to help our body, or minimize some of the issues by eating the right things.
So what you're saying is if you don't eat right, it can hinder your remission.
It can, absolutely, for many different
Not
reasons.
right away, all right.
Well, for many different reasons, it's not even just about the nutrients too. We see hundreds and hundreds of cancer patients in the hospital, and we usually see them at their worst. What ends up happening is a certain level of malnutrition, and people think malnutrition, you're you're very skinny, your skin and bones and all that. Malnutrition means you're not getting, it's not just about the weight. It's about, I have patients that weigh 240 pounds that are malnourished because they're not getting the right nutrients for what their body needs. So that is something that Elvira and I see a lot of, it's the malnutrition. I also see people that during treatment have lost weight, and that is probably one of the only side effects that pleases them because they've tried to get to a healthy weight, and unfortunately it took this to get down to that level. And then they become, afraid, and they don't want to eat the right foods to get back to the right state. And we've also seen treatment stopped because people become so malnourished, they can't make it through chemo. We have to stop everything until we improve the nutritional status so that we can resume, because continuing the chemo will just, there's no point. Your body can't sustain that. It's too much. So, or we can't do surgery right away until.
I didn't know that either.
Absolutely.
So you can eat the wrong foods and get malnutrition.
Absolutely, yes, yes. If you're meat, potatoes, you never include anything like fruits, vegetables, and you're not adding, vitamins and all the supplements, then yes, you're technically considered malnourished. Yeah. So, yeah, that's something, like I said, it's a term that used to be used a lot in just, because somebody's severely underweight. Absolutely not.
Another one.
No, it is, you are not receiving the correct nutrition that your body needs, regardless of weight. Yeah. So, how did we feel about the extra platter? Yeah. Okay. Good flavor, right? A lot of, so, great job, Chef. And we're ready for meatballs now? Okay, last but not least, we have a modified version of Italian meatballs. So by modified, we changed a few ingredients. Instead of ground beef, we use ground turkey, okay? So ground turkey, even, ground pork, lower in fat content than the ground beef. And then also chef substituted, instead of using breadcrumbs to hold the meatballs together, he used oatmeal. So now we're getting the benefits of the oatmeal and higher fiber instead of using bread. So in cases where, we might be more concerned about blood sugars and all that, we're getting the benefit of the fiber in the meatball. And there's also a blend of, this is a great blend to be able to include, whether it's, in meatballs or anything else that you prepare this Italian bread. It's aged cheeses, so you don't need a lot. But cheese is important. It gets a little bit of a bad reputation because of, cholesterol and all that, but it's actually good for your bones, and it's very important for your overall health. So, and again, in moderation, but it's definitely something that can be included. So, how is it? It's good.
I wouldn't say.
You can't really tell all the substitutions, huh? Yeah, they still stay very nice and moist, and again, it's super healthy. It's got a lot of protein in it, and some fiber too, so it'll help keep you full longer.
Same thing with the
Do you ever physically feel better, like stronger, or?
Absolutely, absolutely. How long does it take? Everybody's different. Yeah, it could take a few months. It could take a few months, for sure. And it's also important to continue following up with your doctor so that they can check all your levels. Most of our patients that Elvira and I see, what are the 2 vitamins they're always deficient in?
vitamin D.
Vitamin D is the first one, yeah?
B12.
Yeah. You see.
Yes, everything in the stomach, B12. Just, ask your doctor to check them, and supplement is very easy.
It is.
It's so easy, but it's a shame that we go deficient on those.
It is. There's no reason for us to become deficient in those. The vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin. So after you take it for a while, it builds up in your tissues, and then you don't necessarily have to take as much all the time. The B12, they have different forms now, even just like a sublingual, right? A little dot you put under your tongue once a week. You're good.
You work for Northwest Medical?
We work for Westside Hospital. Yeah.
Same company.
You're right. Yes. Yes.
I just checked out.
You just checked out. They let you go.
Did she tell you his is that
For sure. I mean, nutrition is always a part of it, but if there's something medically causing your blood pressure to drop like that, that's pretty dangerous.
Well,
I'll tell you probably, I would say 80% of our patients are vitamin D deficient that we see.
And instead of using red, you use that. And it has HCA, so you mix it with
Yeah. Yeah, if you thin out your blood, then your blood pressure, if it's too much too, then blood pressure can drop.
that's awful.
Yeah. Very good.
So you have here some recipes. What I meant to say that it's usually the same foods. We have our favorites. So sometimes we'll think, how do I do homemade stuff? We usually have different dishes. So
Yeah, prior, and then there's always, you can always make it afterwards. Who said you have to have turkey just on Thanksgiving? You know what, I don't know. I'm Canadian, so we never celebrate Thanksgiving. Huh? We have beef, or the duck within the chicken within the turkey, or yeah, absolutely, yeah. Now a lot of people like for New Year's instead of ham and all that, they'll do all seafood.
no, yo les
It's a great group. This is
¿Qué receta tenemos sobre comunidad y comer en casa?
you want to come and check out what was going on?
Pues ahí tienen la receta.
We can package some of this up for you. We can package some of this stuff. We have a Christmas That's okay. We got plenty of it. Absolutely, yes. We'll make some for you. Yes, Olive Garden. That's why we're doing the Italian. We're trying to keep it with the full Italian thing. So yeah, we have Olive Garden, all you. You're welcome. It was very nice to meet you. Yeah. And we'll be back. We'll be back. You just, yeah, absolutely.
There's so much access.
Yeah, not on this right. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. But it's not just one, we get every day. We get notifications from the FDA. So, it's
can,
I promise you not this one.
like combine
Yeah, no, I didn't see it. We see it, he goes, he has to go through the recalls, all the recalls that we get every single day.
Yeah, very good.
It's all our manufacturing.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
This has to be the first cooking class, so I didn't know it was on the schedule.
That's
So this
unfortunate.
is, I was in the hospital.
We also have additional handouts here, nutrition, we have coupons, if anybody
Okay, enough
likes
to
to
be
be
let out.
sure, we have coupons for those here.
My blood platelets
And then the recipes here, so we'll leave that, if anybody's interested. We also the American Communist Society has recipes, Pinterest has fantastic recipes.
There's so much out there.
There is, but Pinterest and really some of the healthy recipes, and if you put your like healthy, and yes, you do have to get the app, but if you're healthy and all of that, then it'll pop up. Yes. But yeah, that's, I get a lot of recipes there. I make also, I make protein bites every day. Oatmeal and like an almond butter and all that stuff instead of grabbing a granola bar or something like that. I use the protein bites. Yeah, it's a major trauma to your body, and it really is. It's necessary, but it's a major trauma. And depending on how shape you were in to begin with, how long before you found out that you had an issue, and then the treatments, so those are all factors in figuring out, oh my gosh, how long it's gonna take to recover. And a lot of people forget also the nutrition part of, am I giving myself the right, nutrients and all that. Yeah, most people don't. Most people don't. And that's what we see, like, a lot of times we even see patients come in the hospital as generalized weakness. They come in, well, they can't move anymore because they haven't eaten. So it's not that there's necessarily something majorly medically wrong with them.
I went from 914 Wednesday to being diagnosed with cancer. I didn't even think I had it. I went to the hospital for something else, and they said, by the way.
But like I said, it depends on your lifestyle also. This is all what we're talking about now. This is not just, we're gonna put somebody on a diet until, no. This is a lifestyle change. You get one body. This is not like a car. When we've abused it, we go into the dealership, we get a new model. I wish it worked that way, but it can't. This is all you got.
They don't have it on their
You can ask to make certain substitutions. Some are very apparent, like we were talking about. Instead of the breakfast potatoes, which are, they're sauteed and all kinds of stuff. You get a side of fruit, sliced vegetables, almost like you get an avocado and tomato versus a potato. You do scrambled eggs and, that's true, of course. A lot of yes, sorry. Yeah, no, it is a lifestyle, you're absolutely right.
I switched to potatoes. I used to get it with spinach. Because I had the shiny intestines.
Right now, right, but now you can go back to the spinach. Go back to the spinach, absolutely, yes, go back to the spinach.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You know what's helpful too, what I encourage you guys to do, since there's a lot of nutrition classes that are done maybe on a weekly basis, as you start thinking about questions or things, just write it down. So that when you come, because sometimes there's so much going on and all that kind of, you know.
Answer a lot of my questions.
Well, this is not my first.
But I have to ask those questions because.
No. Absolutely. But in terms of, you know, really think about how you were doing
Those are good,
before
yeah.
the diagnosis, then you got the treatment. Now it's, you know, are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough exercise?
Yeah, exactly.
Matter of fact, I was taking gummies to help me.
Oh,
So
yeah.
melatonin gummies?
No, THC.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Okay,
I was taking them to go to sleep.
yeah.
I do use turkey.
So now I try to go to sleep with nothing.
Yeah. It tastes
There was
Melatonin?
Yeah, like the spongy melatonin,
No, this is the gummies also?
Yeah, what types of food would you? So I would have to take some kind of, and I didn't want to take the Adderall or anything like that. Adderall.
You wanna sit? They are very addictive.
Yeah.
She was as natural and all that. My pleasure. It's nice to meet you. No, that's okay. That's okay.
Thank you, Chef. Really good.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, oh, okay. Yes. Absolutely.
So you can eat healthy and tasty.
I'm gonna put your plate down. Where are
Over here?
I'm gonna say,
You guys are,
Oh, we are. Elvira and I, yes, we're dietitians. What can we help you with? Oh, we can both watch you. That's fine. We feel like doing that. He has questions for us.
I have,
You have a good week? Good week?
I've been,
Yeah, tough one.
How are you, Missy? Myself. My family is always hoping that sugar-free cancer, I got sugar all the time. I can't enjoy it, I can't enjoy pasta, for example. I can't get any bread unless it's whole wheat bread.
Nobody wants to do any cleanup or
I
anything.
was wondering, what do you guys do over there?
We're getting older. My niece is having a hip replacement. She's not on it, so you took everybody to California. Yeah, you see, very nice. Don't be so hungry for turkey dinner.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing quite like it. We did. Yes, we did. Oh my goodness.
Sugar feeds all cells. Our cells function on a glucose. That's what we need to function. So the whole thing that the sugar is feeding the cancer. What has been shown is, you know, there's certain things that could be maybe accelerating. If you're giving a lot of sugar, then you're making the cells grow even faster. But cancer cells are genetic mutation that will mutate upon itself. So whether the sugar or not, it's still, yeah. Yes. And she works at cancer research for a lot. She knows what she's talking about. She's worked with, patients, medication trials and all of that. So she's seen a lot of literature and a lot of studies and a lot of what's been done with the cancer. Yeah, they're all, again, family wants to help. They feel helpless in these situations. We don't do house calls. We take care of patients while they're in the hospital. We do have an outpatient center affiliated with our hospital. It's at University Hospital, which is actually just a few minutes down the street. And they will see patients. You can actually have 10 visits in the year to see a dietitian. But just like yeah.
Try to reach out. Through all of those dietitians to talk to those maybe they can help us with that. If you don't need that rapport, just find another one. There is one right for you.
Exactly, but and also with the benefit with like the Nourish and all of that is it's telehealth. So you can be in your home, invite your family, and say, listen, we're gonna talk to somebody who's many years of school for this. For example, who treats cancer patients, who treat hundreds of cancer patients all the time. We don't, but the companies like Nutritious Lifestyle, Nourish, and all that, they have dietitians. And then you can do it from the computer from your house. They absolutely, yes, they have different dietitians for different specialties, but yes, they can absolutely do that. And then you can also, like I said, invite the family so that they can hear firsthand, because it's very overwhelming, the internet, there's so much misinformation that sometimes you don't know what to believe.
I left my oncologist with my family.
Yeah.
And she told us, there's nothing to cancer.
Right.
Your son needs to put on the weight and wants to deal with it.
That's amazing.
Exactly, so this is what's gonna happen, if you lose too much weight and you get very weak, we can't continue the treatment to beat this. The main thing is to keep your nutrition. That is the number one priority. And the nutrition, keeping your energy up and making sure you're not struggling, that's gonna help you weak. We can't make all the modifications to the point where now you're not shaking up and losing weight. That's not what we're So then what she was saying before in terms of doing very small, very nutrient-dense snacks. We have handouts here, this is from the internet, so you know what to do during treatment. We have some ideas here for high protein, ideas for snacks and all of that. The nut butters, peanut butter, almond butter, those are excellent because it's a lot of calories, good protein, in very small amounts. If you take it forward quickly, that'll help you.
We're having, they're not used for,
Yeah, we're not the biggest fan. Try, take as many as you want. Make your own.
No, Monday did go, though.
Oh, did you go?
No, nobody went, I guess.
Oh, okay, I didn't go.
Yeah. No, I don't think anybody else did either.
I
You told me that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but.
It's hard with the holiday.
Yeah, always.
I went to my daughter, so.
We did? You traveled? I ate trouble. I was supposed to this last weekend, but I said, oh, I just did that like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I can't.
A lot of traffic on the road.